What's up YouTube, Mike here with PeoplesChoiceGaming, and today I got a level 30 full guide for you guys on the new secondary weapon, the Castanas. And if you guys haven't already watched my first look video, go ahead and watch that. I did a breakdown of the weapon, explain how they worked and everything. And in this video, I'm only going to show a short gameplay this time because I do need to spend a bit longer going over the modding guide this time. Because it's a little confusing for some people to best build this weapon, and I need to explain that thoroughly in this video, so it's going to be a little bit longer. But just a quick recap, these weapons are basically like kind of like trap grenades. They look like little metal pronged weapons that you throw closed, and then they open up, stick to the enemy, and you right click and you detonate them. You only can throw 2, and then you gotta reload. They have a slow fire rate, a slow travel time, a lower status chance. However, they do have a high base damage of 100, and it's electrical base damage, which is pretty much one of the best base damages, because, you know, just like with the Synapse, because you can mix it with another elemental mod to make all your best, you know, elemental combos: magnetic, radiation, corrosive. However, on these weapons, they're a little bit strange because when you put an elemental combo on, you'll change the whole base damage, just like you should. Like if you put electric and toxin and you make corrosive, you should have all corrosive. But for some odd reason, after you put your elemental combo on and you throw your weapon, you'll pretty much always see electric proc, almost as if you're only doing electric damage. So that's a little bit strange. It might just be that these weapons always carry an electric damage no matter what, even after you put on your own elemental base damage. But you know, if that was if that's how it was, the arsenal doesn't state it to be that way. You know, however, we're still gonna mod them, you know, just like modding anything for the best damage. So let's go ahead and jump into the arsenal so I can go over how to best build these weapons for you guys at level 30. Alright guys, let's go ahead and go over modding your Castanas to level 30. Now remember guys, like I talked about in the first video, these weapons, you know, you can only throw 2, slower fire rate, can't hold the trigger down, really slow travel time. It makes for these weapons to be a little sluggish, well, a good bit sluggish, and have a lower DPS. So since they're going to have a really nice damage in AoE, we're really going to want to capitalize on that. But when even though you're going to want to get higher damage so that going up against the high level enemies you can kill in that one shot, you know, so you don't have to throw extra, you still have to remember, if you're not going up against the higher level enemies, you know, you don't want to have to you don't want to have to be sluggish when you're kind of crowded around enemies, is what I'm trying to say. So, you know, fire rate, reload speed, throwing extra ones, like these are all things that are really going to help. But something you need to know, since I've tested these out quite well, is mods you're not going to want to use are fire rate mods. Those are going to be a waste of points for you. And you're not going to want to use mods like Slip Magazine to get the one extra throw before reload. That's going to be wasted points for you as all. A lot of points that's going to go to a ton of extra damage by adding Magnum Force in the very end. Reason why is because we're going to be using Lethal Torrent, and with the barrel diffusion, Lethal Torrent is going to give us 3 in the first throw. 80% of the time, you're always going to get 2, but 80% of the time you will get 3, so you're pretty much always going to have 3 in one throw. And now if you were to go with building the other way and have 1 extra throw, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to throw 2 with every throw, and then you're going to have 3 throws. But the thing is for higher level enemies, when it comes to 1 throw, to try to kill them in that 1 throw, you're going to be able to throw 2 or 3 instead of 2, which is going to be better. And when it comes to your maximum of 6, instead of having to throw 3 of them to reach 6, you're only going to need to throw 2. And the fire rate is already built into the Lethal Torrent, and you definitely don't want any more than 60%, because it just does not help these weapons. Not just because, well, mainly because the travel time is what really hurts them, and also because they're semi-automatic and you can't hold them down. So fire rate actually doesn't affect these weapons that much in general anyways. Also, when you're modding them, just a fun factor, this doesn't really matter, this is just something fun I thought I'd tell you guys. Even though 6 is the max you can throw, because of glitch in the system, if you only get 2 thrown on the first chance, or the first throw, which it's a pretty low chance, but if you do get 2 throw on the first throw, or 2 throw on the second throw, then on the third throw, because remember that's only going to make 5, and it'll let you throw one more time because 5 isn't the max of 6, well then you're probably going to, you know, get 3 on the third throw, so you can get up to a max of 8, which is really cool because the max is supposed to be 6, and you could actually have 8 out before you detonate. So just something cool to think about. So now that we got that all out of the way, what's best for overall damage and efficiency? Make sure you got Barrel Diffusion, Hornet Strike, and Lethal Torn on. Hornet Strike you can take up all the way. Put your make sure your Hornet Strike's in a V polarity, and then Barrel Diffusion or Lethal Torn, it doesn't matter. And then for Corpus, you want Electric and Ice to make Magnetic, and then a Magnum Force, and then Quick Draw. Quick Draw is great because, you know, it's going to help with that reload speed, which is really going to help with efficiency. Now, if you're doing really high level enemies, you could take it out to go up further with Magnum Force, but trust me, you don't need to. With this build right here, you're going to be killing high level 30 Corpus in one shot, so you're not going to need it. Now, moving on to the Void, we got Electric and Poison to make Corrosive for a high level Grineer and Heavy Gunners, and then we got the Magnum Force. And now you do not want to be throwing a bunch of them to take down the big heavy gunners, and you want to be one shot in all your Corpus, because, you know, it can really it can mess you up if you're not maximizing your build. So you really want to make sure your damage is as high as possible to kill everything, you know, in them one shot, or maybe 2 or 3 shots for like heavy gunners and whatnot. So definitely make sure you go with this build right here. We got one from the top, Deep Freeze, which is enough ice for Corpus and shields, and then the Magnum Force, which is going to be even more Deep Freeze, and then Corrosive. And it's really good. You're going to be at 513 cold, 2565 corrosive. Just the best all-around Void build you can have. And then for your Grineer, high-level survival and defense, radiation's the best for Grineer. So that's fire and electric. On regular maps, because of the enemy types, corrosive is the best for Grineer, and that's going to be electric and toxin. Now, one last thing before I go. We have leftover points here. We have leftover points here. Well, we already have Quick Draw in here. So there's Corpus, and then here's Grineer, which is the main 2 enemy types for all the planets. So one last thing. If you aren't doing enemies that are very high level, you know, like end game like high 30s and whatnot, then you're not going to quite need all this damage. So go ahead and drop a couple points out of Magnum Force and slap on that 6-point reload speed mod for a 40% reload speed. You're not going to lose a ton of damage by taking 2 points out of Magnum Force, and you're going to get that reload speed mod in, just like you see right here. And that's going to help out a lot. You're still going to be at a very high damage, and since we already got the extra throws the best way possible, and the fire rate, now you got the reload, which completes the trifecta, and of course the highest damage. So after thorough testing, this is the best way you can mod it for the efficiency that you're going to be able to get, and the highest damage for less throws. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions, please message me. I will try to help you out to understand this better, because there's, you know, a few ways you can mod it. It's just you don't want to do those other ways. This is the best for efficiency and damage. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.